Okay, ladies, hey, it's Melissa. So I have talked to a few people since this morning, and basically, one of the directors at one of the centers said, unless somebody understands you psychologically and unless they understand you as an individual, they are not going to be able to really understand the whole situation. Leandro has asked for a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress. So I have somebody that I talk to, and this is all confidential at a pregnancy center, right? There's client confidentiality. And yeah, there's no doubt at all. There were signs of post-traumatic stress, no doubt. And also my background, where I have had a lot of guys hit on me, like this guy I just talked about who wanted something from me. He had an expectation. He wanted to go out with me. He liked my smile and everything. There are men out there who will use you, right? And I've been very used during my dating time, which is right around the abortion. So, not knowing what type of person Gabe Bolt was when I worked for him, not knowing that, the type of character he was, I now know him and I now know what type of person he is. Really good guy. And, when you've had an experience where men are just using you and they're being mean to you, it's a very different experience and very new experience just to have a guy who enjoys your company. He's just a friend who enjoys your company, and there's nothing else to it. Definitely Gordon should have taken the time to investigate and say, hey, what's going on? You said these things, and we want to know what you mean when you're saying these things. So that would have been a definite good, I think, business move. I have somebody who is getting back to me from a pregnancy center where I took a class, and now Leandro's saying, hey, post traumatic stress, we're not worried about it. Don't worry about it. It's not relevant to the case. And I'm like, you just said, because I wanted to hold Gabe Bolt responsible for his actions to me in a thorough explanation, not just hey, we're sorry if we offended you, but a total, thorough explanation of what had happened, that, you had accused me of having an affair with him. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I'm going to get the paperwork and everything I need from the center. I do need to look into his accusations some more with accusing me of trying to have an affair with somebody. So, this is stuff that needs to be dealt with in a divorce. And Leandro is, making these accusations with me and Gabe. So I don't know what Gabe's going to do. He may have an attorney and go toward him and say, hey, you made up this stuff. She made some videos because you made up this stuff about us, and you dug up some information somehow with my husband's family and tried to use it against us together. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but I am pulling all facts together about this. And again, unless you know a woman well, you're not going to know the whole situation. And when we look at pregnancy centers too, who are like, I'm willing to take responsibility for any post-traumatic stress that was involved in there. But when we look at pregnancy centers that are like, oh, make sure you take responsibility for the abortion, that's not really something I agree with. I just don't. And you don't want to take on other people's values just because they say it. I think there's a lot involved psychologically with abortion, a lot. I think like this woman I just worked for who was very Catholic, she didn't want to hear the truth. She knew that this stove was clean. I had a witness to it and she didn't want to admit it. She just wanted to be right. And a lot of times that happens in abortion. A lot of times parents just want to be right. Oh, you were too young, period. That's it. You were too young. They don't want to know the truth. They don't want to take responsibility for their actions and just blame it on someone else. So, I did get a recommendation that if I want to pursue this even further, I can go to a counselor and he will this counselor will take into account all the symptoms I've had, everything that has happened, and he will be able to give me a diagnosis if I want. So that is another option I have with these accusations. So I will be looking back though to look at this class with this woman first. And I believe she does have some qualifications. I think I got lucky with her. But there's another woman too who I think has been part of my life. So I'm going to just be pulling all the facts together with this because this is a serious accusation to, think that I would go and have an affair with somebody that I wouldn't, and to think, other people who could be accusing and be like, I've had other people in the church be accusing too and be like, they're like, oh, maybe because of the miscommunication with me getting blamed for this, maybe you're not who you think you are, and just rotten things said to me in the church, just rotten things. And, there is a day of accountability, and there is a day that they will be held accountable for saying some things to me, including Leandro for this accusation. So, in the end, I'm going to head out. In the end, people want to say what they want to say, and they are held accountable. And, God says, woe to those who make one of mine stumble. Woe. So just look out for certain people who are gossips and they want to say things that are not true. Accusations that Leandro has made that my holding somebody accountable is a false accusation. That's going to be something between him and God to deal with. So that's what I got for now, ladies. Stand your ground. Get the research you need to prove, any psychological harassment you've had. Get the stuff that you need. Okay, thanks for joining me.